Yep. Now we got I'm excited about referee Mark Nelson coming on to the PorterWay Podcast. As you saw, he refereed Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk the other week, and I thought he did a terrific job. And he's also going to share some of his experiences with us as well. So welcome to the PorterWay Podcast, referee Minnesota's own referee Mark Nelson. How you doing, sir?
Good, Shawn. How are you guys? Thank you.
Well. Right.
How you doing, Mark?
How you doing?
Good.
Where you at right now, sir?
I can't see anybody, but I can see myself.
That's just fine.
That's the most important part.
Yeah. Hopefully it all works out.
All right.
Where you at right now? That's your home, I'm assuming.
Yeah, my little I got a little boxing gym where I work out down here, and kind of where I got a picture framing studio out of my house, so that I do all my work right here. I'm fully retired. I just referee, and I do picture framing. So life is good.
Beautiful. Listen, how often are you working out?
Not as much as I should. I hit the heavy bag when I have time, but we got
Hey, Mark,
10,000.
knock off a combo real quick. Mark, come on, show us something.
No, I'm taking Jeannie to the Michael Jackson show at the Orpheum in Minneapolis tonight,
Nice.
So I don't want to get all sweaty.
Nice,
Okay, I
nice.
got you.
Well, the reason why I asked that question though, and we'll get this going, but a lot of times you never really know what you're getting from a referee or from a judge on fight night. And I hate to fast forward, get right to it, but the fight with Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, these men are, they're up there. Alexander's 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", and then we know Tyson Fury's right around that 6'9" area, and right about their belly buttons. But it takes someone who's well conditioned to be able to referee a fight like you did. So I'm happy to hear that you, as a referee in this game that is so remarkable yet complex, you have the ability to do everything that you need to do to make sure that when you get called upon to referee a fight like that, you're ready to be there all night with these guys as you were.
Yeah, exactly. And I do the best I can to stay in shape. I don't want to, you're right. It's an important job refereeing professional boxing. We got to stay on top of our game. We got to be focused. We got to be physically fit and ready to go. And I've had assignments in Europe where I was assigned to a 12-round world bantamweight title for the main event. And when I got there, they asked me to work a 12-round European heavyweight eliminator, and that went 12 rounds. So I did back-to-back fights that night, 24 rounds, and I felt great.
Wow.
And I was glad that I stayed in well shape, because you never know what they're going to throw at you.
Yeah, and knowing that you're from Minneapolis, Minnesota, your dad, so you grew up watching your dad box, and then you also watched your dad referee as well. Is he a Hall of Fame referee? Minnesota Hall of Fame referee?
He's in the Minnesota Boxing Hall of Fame. In fact, I had the privilege to be inducted in about four or 5 years ago. But my dad fought in the 50s, so I never saw him box.
Okay.
I just grew up kind of carrying his bag when I was a little boy, going to watch him referee the amateurs. In fact, Dad fought in the National Golden Gloves 56, 57, and 59 the same night Ali or Cassius Clay did. It's kind of neat. He saved all in programs. So
Nice.
Just being in a boxing family, it was something I wanted to do. And my dad never really pushed me into officiating. It's just something I liked watching what he was doing. So I started judging in 86. And then in 89, they needed help with the amateur program. And I talked to my dad, and he said, if you want to referee and try it, go ahead. And then it just went from there. I was licensed in 1992 with a professional license in Minnesota. And in 94, I had my first IBF fight in Bari, Italy, and have been loving it ever since. And several times I would work the same shows with my dad. Like, we've both been assigned to the same fight in Germany, and like world title fights where he was judging and I was refereeing. So to have a mentor like that, when you're living with your dad and you're both referees, was a very beneficial learning experience.
It's almost like it's very little room for error for you because of everything that you've done And as long as you've been doing it, I mean, you've really cultivated a lifestyle and a life of refereeing fights and, being a part of boxing the way that you have.
Yeah, and I boxed, I mean, in the amateurs, I had one amateur fight and I got beat. I was only 16, but being around the sport, most of my whole life, and I have four other siblings and they like boxing, but they never got involved in it. But it was just something I wanted to do with my dad and to have it's a great relationship. We'd go to conventions together and room together and go to all the training seminars, but my dad, he didn't have anyone to learn from like I do. I had him, but he depended on the seminars with Mills Lane and Richard Steele, and so did I. And back when Davey Pearl was officiating in Vegas, so he really he had to kind of do it the harder way to learn from other referees outside of state.